What's up, y'all boys? You're tuned in to the Loyal Sons Forever True podcast. And we're back with another episode. My name's Carson Hansen,
And I'm Aiden Gilmore.
and we're gonna be talking about all about relationships. We're talking about, friendships, dating, like any kind of relationships there is.
Yeah, this one's gonna be a little interesting. It's gonna be a little spicy, guys. So I hope y'all are tuned in. Y'all are locked in. Grab your popcorn and let's get ready to chat.
Yeah, so let's just start off with a few verses here. Jeremiah 17:9. It says, "The heart is deceitful above all things and desperately sick."
Mm,
And
mm.
we're also gonna go, and it says, who can understand it? Because the heart, like we truly don't understand. Like it is so wicked that a lot of people don't even understand like how wicked it is. So now we're gonna jump to Numbers 15:39,
15 verse 39. You got it.
and it says, "It shall be a tassel for you to look at and remember all the commandments of the Lord to do them, not to follow after your own heart and your own eyes, which you are inclined to something after."
Nice. Good reading skills.
Yeah.
Your major's not English, is it?
No, my yeah. Good
Okay,
thing
it's
my
finance,
major's
right?
yeah,
Okay.
finance.
All right, and the verses I will be going over is 2 Corinthians 6. What harmony can there be between Christ and the devil? So how can a believer be with a partner that is an unbeliever? And Proverbs 27 verse 17, as iron sharpens iron, so a friend sharpens a friend.
Yeah.
A
So
good friend, actually. It has to be an iron friend, and you have to be iron yourself. So think
yeah,
about that.
yeah. Let's first like get into like the heart thing first, and like truly understanding how wicked like the heart actually is. Um, so when we're talking about it, like a lot of people in today's like culture, like say, "Well, I'm just gonna follow my heart. Like whatever my
Mm,
heart's telling
mm,
me, whatever
mm.
my heart's telling me, I'm just gonna go and do it. I'm gonna
Mm.
follow my heart." And guys, let's just say, don't do that because you're gonna end down a rabbit hole that you're gonna want to jump right out of, and then you're kind of gonna be stuck in that relationship, and you're gonna want to get out of it as fast as you can.
Honestly, anything. It could be a job. It could be almost anything. And when someone gives you the advice to follow your heart, man, is not in the right place. Rarely is it ever.
Yeah.
And what else? What else do we have about the heart?
Yeah, I would say also just like stay prayed up on like everything that you're like going through and like stepping into in your life. Um and remember like all the doors that God opens, remember like the enemy also gives you opportunities. The devil also gives you opportunities to step in that, and it's our will to like know and pray to like the Father and be like, "Okay, what should I do in this situation?" and to go with his will.
Mm. Yeah, man. Uh, and also in verses 17:9 of Jeremiah, um, yeah, your heart is deceitful. Um, what do you know about being deceitful? What do you have to say about that?
I would say like deceitful. Like it kind of tries to play like tricks on you. I guess you could kind of phrase it like that. Like your heart's not always going to tell you like the right thing. Cuz like God obviously knows like the right thing for you, and your heart is always going to be trying to um it's all about like feelings and emotions.
Yeah. And I think why that is because Satan has a hold on your heart when you are young and you don't know Christ. Um, so Satan kind of takes control of your heart when you don't know Christ, and that can be really deceitful because you can be told many lies in your heart, which leads to your brain, and your thoughts and your actions, and it can just be all from, Satan and what he's had the world to make you believe.
Right. Yeah. Um and now let's jump back to Numbers 15:39, and let's kind of talk about that now.
Um, basically, it says instead of following your own desires, um, obey all the commands of the Lord. Um, and that honestly hits really deep. Um, and this is technically your verse. So what do you have to say about it?
Yeah, I would say um, not to follow after your own heart and your own eyes. So when it says like your own eyes, like your own desires, like what you see as like in a worldly stance, like what do you see daily? Um, and we're like born. First of all, we're born into sin, so we don't like truly know like we for ourselves we don't know what is truly right for ourselves. Like God is the one that actually truly knows like what's right. And if we choose like our own desires and what we want all the time and like selfishly our own desires, it's going to end up leading to a place that is really just like going to, collapse at some point. So yeah, I would just say like keep staying prayed into what God wants for you.
Yeah, I mean, even a great prayer of what I pray every night is just clean my heart because, man, we let so many bad things into our heart every day. It's honestly crazy to think about, like cussing or seeing something crazy like on Twitter. Twitter's like the crazy or X now. X is like the craziest place, dude. I'll see like just a dude just getting shot like on Twitter, and I'm like, whoa, dude. Like I just opened the app.
Yeah.
But yeah, and going into my verses, 2 Corinthians 6, what harmony can there be between Christ and the devil, and how can a believer be a partner with an unbeliever? Uh, and that just goes into being evenly yoked. Like if you're going out and choosing a date, you see a pretty girl, and you're going out on your first date with her. You're super excited, right? You go into learning that she's not really a believer. She doesn't really care about the religion stuff. Um, Once again, I would probably say I'm not into religion. I'm actually a follower of Christ. Um, but anywho, being evenly yoked is so important because having a marriage and even growing or not growing, teaching young kids how to grow up. Um, it's good to be evenly yoked so you don't cross on each other, right? Don't you think that's a big idea about that, right?
Yeah, I would say being evenly yoked is such a huge thing because it won't create so many stresses. Like if you were in an unevenly yoked relationship, there's going to be so many stresses that are added on to you. And it's going to be kind of like an uphill battle like the whole time you're in that relationship because you guys will never like agree on anything.
Yeah, a lot of fights.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound good.
No.
No. Fights with the wife is horrible, I'd say.
Wait, what do
um
you consider a wife?
what do I consider a
Like
wife?
what do you like do you consider like do you just say, "Oh, my girlfriend," like, "Oh, I got a wife back at home," but it's really your girlfriend? Like, is that what you guys say in Texas?
I mean, that's what I say personally.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I've kind of taught you to say that lately.
Yeah, a little bit. A little bit.
But yeah, how can you be yoked with a woman who is living for the world while you're trying to live for Christ? It's basically being yoked with Satan himself. Not really. The
Don't
girls out there.
I
Yeah.
wouldn't say that.
But it's not even it's not evenly hello guys. It's not evenly yoked. You would say. You'd say. And then the other verse, Proverbs 27. As iron sharpens iron, so a friend sharpens a friend. Um, Man, I think this is one of the most important things, and this can go for when you're trying to find a wife too. Um, Man, I feel like that's so important. You need to find someone who's well with Christ, just like you are, because
Right.
that iron's gonna just sharpen you, make you smarter, make you have more wisdom, and make you just overall a better person. And I know
Right.
it's hard to find that because here at Iowa State, I found like very few people. You're one of them. Congratulations. But yeah, what do you have to say about that?
Yeah, I would say, like, a really good thing, like, when you're trying to find a partner because, like, we're kinda on the partner thing right now. We'll probably go into the friendship thing later. But when we're on like the dating or marriage, like whatever you want to call that phase, I would say like, so picture you and your partner like at the bottom of a triangle. I know like a lot of people have heard this. So you're in one corner of the triangle, your partner's in the other, uh,
Corner
in
of
the
the
other corner of the
triangle.
triangle, and God's at the top, and you guys are both chasing after God, which means at the same time you guys will be getting closer, but you guys first are chasing after God, and it will just like in the end make a strong relationship for you guys, and also make it a lot easier in the long run and everything like that. And you guys will both have individual relationships with the Lord, and you'll also be able to have times where you can pray together, you can do all these things together, which all the time just glorify the Lord. So
Yeah, I heard a pastor on Instagram Reels say that 99% of marriages do not end in a divorce if they pray together every night. And I was like, wow. So you would say evenly yoked is pretty important? You'd say.
yeah, and it's kind of interesting that we're talking about the marriage piece because we're both not married right now.
No, we just have wives, but we're
Well,
not married.
yeah. So it's kind of interesting that we're talking about this, but we just want to kind of give you guys some, spicy topics to kind of
Some
talk about.
information that we are not personally living quite yet, but we have girlfriends, so we kind of know what's up, but
Yeah.
not really what's up.
Right.
um, but yeah,
You want to go on our friendships?
yeah. But also one last thing, shout out to my mother because she would always tell me to guard my heart growing up,
Mm,
and I feel like that's so huge. To not listen to your heart, but to guard it, because
mm-hmm.
there's a lot of wild things in there that you might not even know about. So shout out to my mom. What's
Right.
up?
And I would say once you, I there's always like when we're always talking about topics, there's always like that piece where you can put your identities into this other partner. Once you put your identity into another partner, like, and you shut off your relationship with God,
Mm.
then like, man, it's just not gonna work out.
Yeah, that's really scary, to be honest with you. I know some people out there, you know, they put all their identity, yeah, into their, husband, wife, girlfriend, boyfriend, best friend, things like that. And it kind of, if they do happen to go somewhere else or
Yeah.
decide to go on a different path, um, that person could be literally like heartbroken, like torn apart, like they don't know what they're doing anymore because
Right.
they had their identity in the wrong thing.
Right. Yeah. So I would just say like, yeah, obviously like spend time, like communicate. That's the biggest thing with that other person. Like obviously like pursuing them, great thing to do, especially if you're like, dang, she's the one. Um, but yeah, I would just say just be careful on like how much like time you put into that person, and then if it's taking away from your relationship with God, that's when there's a problem. So
Yeah, let's go into friendships. Iron sharpens iron. Man, I feel like that's so important. How do you become iron? I think that's a great topic to even talk about. Personally believe it's being super strong in Christ. And so when you have another friend like Carson here, who's super strong in his faith in Christ, and when we both come together, we kind of sharpen each other. A little bit more wisdom on one side, and a little bit of help on the other. Just things like that. We're just helping each other out. Trying to be better people. And when people's goals are intact, great things can come out of that, especially when it's linked with Christ.
yeah, I would say another thing on like trying to become iron is having that quiet time with God. That's the most important thing. Like, how are you going to keep adding layers? I guess you could say, like, keep going off the iron analogy, keep adding layers to your iron to keep making it stronger and stronger and stronger, is to keep spending time with God, especially alone at night, like in those times, like
Yeah.
individually,
Explain what that looks like. What does that look like? Having a relationship, or even just talking or hanging out with them.
with just like by yourself.
Yeah, yeah. Explain that.
I would say so like there's a lot of different things that you can do, like worship music. Just like throughout your day, like you can always just include worship music wherever you're doing. Um you can also just pray. Like that's another big thing.
Yeah.
And also like a really, really, really big thing to do also is to get in the word and like study it
Yeah.
and like go over it and like truly ask God like what are you trying to tell me? Like keep pursuing after God and keep seeking him every day.
Yeah. To those out there studying for finals, good luck. But it's also important to study for to study God and to study His Word. It's good to put a little bit of mix in there. I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know finals big stresses in someone's life, especially in college when material's harder. So
Yeah.
good luck to you guys out there.
Yeah. It's gonna be rough. I know my roommates. They just did it, and shout out to Vince. You got straight A's. Congratulations. For taking 3 classes. But yeah, how are your classes going?
My classes are going pretty
What
good.
about our math class?
See, that's interesting. You know, we'll
Really?
we'll see how the test goes the end of this week.
Uh,
Um, but yeah, I mean, it's not easy, but we're gonna get through it.
yeah. I think we're ready to go into random thing of the day.
Random thing of the day.
Yeah, I think we're ready. My question um, is Chipotle fast food or is it a restaurant? Or
Mm.
even hold on. I could bring a triple idea here. Um, is it a buffet?
So is it a buffet?
Yep.
Is it fast food or is it a regular restaurant?
Yep.
And then what's the last one?
Um, that's three.
Oh, I get what, yeah.
Yeah.
But okay.
So fast food, buffet, restaurant. Which one?
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
I would say personally it's not a buffet
Okay.
because
Okay.
because there's not a bunch of different food types. It's always well, okay. So you get a burrito or you get a bowl or like
Or a
tacos.
quesadilla
Or
or a taco.
okay, but it's all
Sounds like
one.
a restaurant, maybe.
Yeah, it's all one type of food. Okay.
Yeah.
So I would like throw the buffet idea out the window.
But hold on, because if it's fast food, it's made fast, right?
Mhm.
Okay, it is. But is it? It's being made like right in front of you. You're basically picking the toppings, picking every single thing. What else do you do? Like, where else do you do that? You do that at buffets.
Well, a
A
buffet,
buffet and a restaurant's kind of the same thing, but which one is it?
I would consider Chipotle a restaurant, not a buffet, because you personally can't scoop the food
Mm,
out of the
agreeable.
things.
Okay.
That's the best thing about a buffet. Like.
Yeah, you get to grab the amounts. Yeah, yeah, I really do. I really do wish I could do that at Chipotle. I get
Yeah.
really angry sometimes. Oh man, I remember being at home.
Especially like I don't want to complain, but when there's college kids,
Oh,
working around here, hey, like, can I get some chicken or get some white rice on there?
yeah,
And they take, just
especially,
just like 2 grains of rice, you know.
dude, especially when I ask for double. When I'm like, "Hey, can I get some double chicken on there?" And they're just like, "Mm." Like, come on, man, come on. You know why I'm asking for double? Because I need to get big. I need to get big for the game of football, and I can't get big with these tiny little scoops. So, which one is it? Do you think it's a restaurant or a fast food now at this point?
I would say restaurant because I don't consider it a fast food because it's kind of see now this is difficult. This is difficult. Because it's getting like yes, the food's made fast.
Yeah.
Everything's made fast.
And it's already right in front of you. It's already made. I mean, McDonald's is frozen. It's already made, right? It's already ready to go. So, and that you can sit down at both places and enjoy your meal. But one big thing is, are there drive-throughs at Chipotle?
Mm,
I don't think there is. I mean, I've actually seen some, but
okay.
not a lot. I would say
So
most are just sit-down places or to go.
I would say we rule it a restaurant
Yeah,
until they come out with more drive-throughs.
yeah. I agree. I think if there's more drive-throughs in Chipotle, it will slowly become fast food because it's just scoop and shoot right through the window, and that's all you're like. That's definitely fast food if that's what you're doing. If you're scooping and shooting, but yeah, I
Guys,
think.
guys, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for this guy.
But I definitely, yeah, I think it's a restaurant because you either take it to go or you sit down and eat it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, guys,
guys, I think that's a wrap.
that was the random thing of the day. Oh, and don't forget, please leave questions
Yes.
in the comments so we have more to talk about. Um,
Especially like the random thing.
yeah,
Like
like
whatever.
anything you want because sometimes it's hard to prepare for this
Mhm.
because especially now we have finals, and we're like kind of trying to fit this in at a tight time. So we're just trying to get things done, and we would love to have some Q&A around here.
Exactly. Sounds good. All right.
Yeah.
Tuning off.
All right, guys.
See you guys
Peace.
later.